Okay, first time syncing audio. That was interesting. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Mission Pixel. I'm back after a really long time. Actually, I've had the most insane couple of months, to be honest. I've traveled a lot. I had a lot of things going on, new years, and yeah. Anyway, all that crap aside, I wanted to talk today about a very special product that I first had the chance to review, and actually that's when this video was supposed to come up, not now. And I've actually liked the product so much that I purchased it. So the product in question is the Galaxy Note 9. I have it here. I'm actually recording audio for this video on that phone. So I've had a chance to use it for about a month now. I gotta say, it is by a solid country mile the best phone I've ever had a chance to use. The other phone I had before this one was the Samsung Galaxy S7. So yes, disclaimer, I am a bit of a Samsung fanboy, you could say, although I am always looking for a better phone. But to be honest, I really needed the S Pen that this Note 9 has. So obviously you got the pen, so you can scribble on the screen and write all kinds of amazing things. So I went to Prague, and that's when I had the test copy of this phone, and I took a bunch of photos and videos. And I basically ran it through I did a vigorous test of the camera capabilities and the video capabilities for photo, the camera capabilities for photo and video. So after using it for, I think I was there 4 days in Prague, I was blown away by the camera. All I gotta say, the quality of the video is amazing. Truly, very crisp 4K. The slow motion is actually really low quality. It's only 720p. I mean, it's a phone camera. How much can I expect, really? I'm not exactly gonna buy a phone and expect it to replace my A6300. So yeah, the slow-mo capability is an impressive amount of frames, but for the resolution, I don't think I would ever actually use it. I posted something on my Instagram story, and then I think some people liked it, but I was just like, that quality though. So yeah, I had to. I'm not a big fan of anything below full HD. So another thing I gotta say is the photo quality of this phone is just incredible. The low light performance is, I mean, it comes very close to my A6300, really. I mean, before putting raw files aside, so obviously my mirrorless camera takes raw files, so I can always drop down the highlights, increase the shadows, pump up that contrast. I can, bring that dynamic range into the photo in post-production. But just fresh out of the camera, if you're taking photos, the Note 9 is very comparable to this, coming in almost like, if you get A6500, I believe is almost $1,000, almost as much as, well, actually, yeah, no, it's the same price as that phone. So to be honest, if you have $1,000 to spare and you're choosing between an A6500 and a Note 9, get the Note 9. Yeah, the camera is really impressive. The pixel count really allows you to pinch in. I'm not going to talk about specs and things like that, because if you really want that, somebody else's channel. I'll link some really good specific reviews that really talk about the specs and things like that, because that's not what I want to talk about. I want to show you this test footage. I want to show you these test pictures that I have, and basically I want to talk about my experience using the phone, because I've actually had an amazing experience. Like I said, I went out to Prague. I filmed with a couple of my friends. They were amazing to film with, to be honest. And we went around, we took a bunch of photos, we filmed a little short story about people using the phone and how it helps you and blah 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 blah. Basically, a guy writing down his phone number, giving it to the girl, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. It was definitely a great phone to work with, and like I mentioned, the S Pen, yeah, definitely saved my butt a couple of times. I've had a couple of meetings since then where I just sit down at the table, everyone's taking out their massive bags, like, oh, I need this book, I need that book, or like take out a huge laptop, and I'm just there like, yo, hold up, I got this. So it's just like, definitely would recommend using that. So as this is a photography channel mainly, sharing some of the photos that you can see. Generally the dynamic range is pretty decent. The new smart focus mode, which is on the Note 9, is basically something similar to the iPhone X's portrait mode. So you can take a photo of someone close up. It uses the second, so it has actually two lenses on the back here. You can't really see that very well. There we go. So it's got two lenses. Excuse the dirt. I have been using it, like I said, vigorously. So yeah, so it's got two lenses. So when you're taking that portrait mode or smart focus photo, it actually pinches in and it zooms in, and then you take the portrait, and then you can switch and adjust the focus afterwards. So that gives a lot of creative control. It also takes two photos at the same time, I think. Either that or it takes the same one and then pinches in, but either way it gives you the option of whether you want to use the actual zoomed in focus adjusted photo, or if you want to use the wide angle, which this phone has a fairly wide lens on it, so you can definitely take a lot of interesting photos. It's fantastic for selfies, anything along those lines, although realistically I'm not a huge fan of those. I rarely appear on photos, I'm usually on the other side of the camera. So any other points I wanted to bring up is, I mean, generally it's a very powerful phone. The main thing, like, I went to Poland, it was last week actually, and I didn't take my A6300 with me. I just didn't. I was only there for I think, was it 30 hours? So 30 hours in Poland, and the only thing I took with me was my Note 9, and I took some genuinely amazing photos. If I showed them to somebody else alongside some photos taken on my A6300, I'm pretty sure very few people would be able to actually tell which one's which. So that's impressive for a mobile phone, if you can say that you're, you know, that comparable to a almost professional grade camera. Yeah, so definitely a fantastic phone. I'm sure you're enjoying some of the test footage I shot on this phone, and yeah, I've taken quite a lot of photos since. Of course, another bonus is, since you're taking it on a phone, and since it is a phone, you can get Lightroom on Android, and you can use Lightroom to edit your photos straight away. And it does actually give the photos do actually have quite a bit of data in them, so you can modify them a little bit. Of course, it's not as much as a raw file from an actual DSLR or mirrorless camera, but it's still fairly manageable. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to replace my A6300 for anything intensive that I'm gonna do. Is of course gonna be my big camera, but realistically speaking, if I'm going on a business trip, or if I'm going, like last week I went to Poland for 30 hours, I'm not gonna take my mirrorless camera. Even though the Sony is small, I'm still not gonna take it with me. I'm just gonna take the phone, because the pictures are almost just as good. And yeah, I mean, don't really need it. If you're going for such a short time, it takes more time to set up the camera, get everything ready, put everything where it's supposed to be. On the phone, just take it out, snap a few shots, boom, you're done. So overall verdict, Note 9, probably the best phone I've used so far. I'm still working on getting a comparison made between the Note 9 and the iPhone X, which my dad owns, so I'm trying to borrow it from him and take a few test shots on both and see how they do against each other. I know there's already been a few videos like that on YouTube, but I want to just try put my own spin on that, so I'll see if I can get something sorted. As for now, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back shortly as I have a very exciting new product to show you guys. I'm sure if you followed me on Instagram, you probably see this particular product that I'm talking about, and yeah, I'm very excited to do a review of it. I'm actually using it right now, and yeah, I'll definitely make a video with it soon, and the gap will be a lot shorter than the previous video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.